Hi guys, it's Ian here, aka Ahura Mantra. Hello again, welcome to my channel. And today I just want to be talking about what is love anyway. There's the words of the song in there somewhere, isn't there? Anyway, I was talking to someone I know this morning, and it struck me that within the space of about 2 minutes, they had said that they loved their job, they loved music, they loved going to the gym, they loved pizza, and they loved sunny days. And it suddenly occurred to me how much love this guy had to give. No, seriously. But it struck me how we use the word love indiscriminately, and often we don't mean that we love something at all. Now, in part, I think that's because although English is a very rich and wonderful language, in terms of speaking of love, we have very little to work with. For example, in the ancient classical Greek, they used 4 words to describe love, and they were using those words specifically to deal with love. They wouldn't be using any of those words, for example, to say that they loved pizza. Well, I don't even know if they had pizza in those days, but you get what I mean. And yeah, it did strike me that, do we even know what love is? And I thought about the words that the Greeks used, and I thought, well, if I start my thinking around those and see where it takes me. So come with me on a ramble, if you will. So the Greeks used 4 words, as I said, and to describe different aspects of love. And the highest form of love is agape love. And it's a love that doesn't really require you to feel that you love someone. It's the love of service and doing what is required. It's love in action, I guess, if you like. And when I think of that, I think about in many world religions where we're encouraged to love our enemy and to love those who perhaps use us and treat us poorly. Well, how do we do that then? Because how do you love your enemy? Well, if we think about it in the way that we use the word love, it's pretty impossible, isn't it? How can you have those warm feelings, those, those lovely sort of feelings that we have for people that we love? Well, you can't. I don't believe you can. But if you look at the definition of agape love, love in action, love through service, love through doing the right thing and what is required for that person's well-being, well, yeah, you can love your enemy, because there is no feeling required. There is just action. There's doing what needs to be done. And so that's why agape love is the word used to describe divine love, because it outflows regardless of the person to whom it is flowing and how that person is responding. It gives what is needed. It does what is required. It is the love that sacrifices itself. And I guess we've all perhaps done a little bit of that, where we have put our own well-being aside to do what is right for someone else. So yeah, that's the one aspect of love that doesn't require us to feel good about someone. It's an act of will. That element of love is an act of will. We can choose to demonstrate agape love, or we can choose not to. Our choice. And then there's the other form of love, which is like family love, the love that instinctively arises, that you have for your parents, for your brother, your sister, your nephews, your nieces. And the Greeks called that storge, and they differentiated it quite markedly from agape love and the other loves, because it is something that in most cases, although I'm aware that it isn't in all cases, because there isn't always a family bond that develops and that is present. And I know from, people that I know very well that sometimes that isn't there. Excuse me, it's absent. But storge love is the love that a person might have for their partner after many years, that rock solid, lower burning love that endures. That again, to a degree, doesn't really require you to like them all the time, but it's there. It's a foundation. It's solid, very present. And then the third kind of love is phileo, which is it's from the word philos, which is friendship, but it's a kind of a, that bond that close friends have, that easy wanting to please each other, pleasure when you see each other, that love that you have for your friends that lasts for years and years and years, uncomplicated companionship, friendship, brotherliness and sisterliness in a sense, although not in the family kind of way. And then lastly we have the eros love, which is sexual and romantic love, and the desire. Now I think this is the love that when we speak of it, that we tend to think of most. Because if someone says to me, well, what is love? And the first thing I go to is the kind of the romantic love, the Valentine's Day love, and then I would probably move on to family love, and I'd think, yeah, when you love your parents and your brothers and sisters and so on. And then I might think of love of friends, but the last love that I would think of naturally is the agape love, the love in action, the love of the act of will. So I'm wondering which of those would fit a pizza. None, I don't think. But it makes me realise too that sometimes, because of the limitations of our language, causes a limitation in our thinking. And I always used to think, that thought came before language, because how can you develop a language if you can't think? And there's got to be some of that there, but really it is language that enables us to think. Because in this example, when we encounter a language that allows us to break love down into component parts, we can think about it, we can see it, we can understand it in different ways. And I might be a bitter and cynical person, but I think often we say that we love things, we really don't love them at all. We like them, maybe we need them, or we think that we need them, and often, neediness is equated to love. And you see it sometimes in an unhealthy relationships where there is no joy, there is no building up of each other in a partnership, yet that partnership cannot end for whatever reasons. And neediness and wrong dependence is often mistaken as love. Oh, he treats me that way because he loves me deep down. Stuff like that. So we do use love indiscriminately, and I'm beginning to see in my journey in life, where I am looking for more wisdom than I've got already and a greater understanding of spiritual things. I am beginning to realize that to accurately describe something is the start of understanding it. And looking at my assumptions of, when I use language to describe something, does it restrict my thinking on that particular issue? And if it does, let's go back. Let's try and look at using some other words, looking at other meanings. Anyway, yeah, so that's all it was really, just a very short ramble. Oh, well, it's 10 minutes according to, if I squint and see what it says on my camera, it says I've been rambling for 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop now and leave you with those thoughts. Thank you for listening yet again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.